Welcome to our team call tonight. Team Dare to Dream in the house. Woo! Everybody pump it up. And Determination Nation in the house. Everybody pump it up. And those of you that didn't pump it up, what team are you on? I'm wondering, because you're on the wrong call.
Not comfortable.
Sarah, you didn't pump it up. Who else didn't pump it up? This is audience participation.
Leave me alone.
I can hear you talking.
Nope.
I can hear you talking. If you don't want me to hear what you're saying, Sherry's like, I'm still pumping it up. Do you have a dog over your head? You do. You have a dog over your head. Sherry always has a dog over her head. In her pictures, on her lap, wherever. All right. So I thought somebody was going to give us the official dictionary definition of baller. Okay. Nobody's done that yet. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm telling you, this month is just making me crazy. I hope you guys are feeling pumped up. Got back from leadership last week, I think, and went right into Super Saturday. So it's just been crazy busy. But, you know, I am so excited by the team spirit. And I don't necessarily mean the challenge. I mean the spirit in the team. I'm so excited to see so many coaches doing core to force. I was putting people into the challenge tracker, and I was, you know, adding people into the challenge group and wherever you want to go. I mean, it's just like there are so many names. There's names that are old names that I haven't seen for a while. There's new names, people that I haven't met. And there's names I don't even recognize because it's, you know, either they're brand spanking new or they've just been really quiet. But I'm just so excited that we are all coming together to change our own lives, right? Because we are a health and fitness company. And that's the biggest message that we are getting from Carl Deichler to everybody in the corporate office, and reminders back to us. I mean, Danielle Natoni, I think, really kind of started kind of the movement or the phrase, you know, we are a health and fitness company, and that's where we have our roots, that's where our foundation is, and that's where we have to start from. And it starts with us. I mean, we were attracted to Beachbody because of our health and our fitness. And that's why we stick around, right? I mean, being a part of our tribe, our community, is what helps keep us accountable to our own health and fitness goals. If I didn't know I was starting Core to Force next weekend and I agreed to be a test group participant just like you, I would know that next week I would still be eating those Reese's peanut butter cups that I took out of the candy basket, didn't give to the trick-or-treaters, and hid them away so my husband can't even find them. I would know that, okay, I'm not going to eat any more of that stuff for 30 days after this week, right? But I get into habits. Like, I will get onto these rolls where I just keep eating stuff like that. Jen knows nutty bars. That was my treat of the summer, nutty bars. Bought some to take down to the lake. And they came back with me. And when I went to the store, they somehow ended up in my grocery basket. And then they were on sale, so I had to buy more. And then, I mean, it was just crazy. I'm like, stop it with the nutty bars. But I know that I have this community. I know people are looking to me to be a role model. I know that my own business, right, depends on me to get back on track and not just say, throw in the towel, it's too hard. And I know that my own self-esteem, my own confidence for my own self, and I have my husband who is, you know, totally in this with me, and we keep each other accountable. I mean, if I didn't have this community, I would be lost in regards to things like that. Little public service announcement break. A baller is a thug that has made it to the big time. Oh yeah, we are thugs that have made it to the big time. I don't know, that doesn't sound so great, but it sounds really cool. So anyway, so that's why we're here. And that's why I wanted to talk about challenge groups tonight. Because I know for myself, sometimes I kind of wane in my enthusiasm of challenge groups. And, you know, sometimes it seems like they're a lot of work. Sometimes it seems like people don't appreciate the effort. Sometimes it seems like, you know, you have the same people in your group, and gosh, you know, what new things do I have to say to them? Sometimes the reason my enthusiasm wanes is because my enthusiasm for my own workouts and my own eating and my own fitness is waning, which is really a sign that I need to dive back in and be my own best challenger, right? And so that's one of the things that we all need to commit to do, is when we are running challenge groups in particular, we need to be a challenger. I mean, yes, we're the coach, we're the leader, you know, we're responsible for a lot of different things in the group, but we are number one, first and foremost, responsible to our health and fitness, to drink our Shakeology, to do our workouts, to follow the program, to eat as best as we can, and to be real and be vulnerable. You know, whenever we kind of put ourselves at this pedestal up here, like we're the coach, you know, and I mean, I'm guilty of it. I will use Jen as she's my text buddy, you know, like I'll text her. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stop eating. It's just crazy. You know, I should be telling my challengers that. I should be saying I'm struggling too, because I know all of our challengers struggle, right? I'm going to put everybody on mute here just a minute. Let some people join. Mute all. So that's really one of the biggest things I took away from leadership, and the conversations were already there amongst the leaders and the wall, which is where the ballers are, right? The wallers are ballers. Wallers are ballers. That's where that came from. But it's the 5-star elite coach group that corporate kind of facilitates. But that's kind of where those conversations started, is like, you know, it has to start with us. You know, if our challengers aren't seeing results, if we're having a hard time, you know, helping people change their lives, if we're having a hard time attracting people to our challenge groups, well, we have to look at ourselves. We have to look at what we're doing. And some of you guys are so amazing. I mean, you are, you know, you may not necessarily have big challenge groups, or maybe you don't even run your own challenge groups, but I see you in my challenge groups and you are already the best challengers. So props to you, kudos to you. But I know you're doing that because you are committed to fighting the good fight, right? So that's just I'm so excited about this, because I feel rejuvenated by the thought of, you know, going back to basics. I mean, what attracted me to Beachbody, it was P90X. And we didn't have challenge groups back then, but John and I and Sydney and Tyler, we were our own little challenge group. And we had a calendar that told us what to do every day. We didn't follow the meal plan because it was too complicated, right? I mean, isn't it so easy now with the containers? I mean, every program used to have its own meal plan. It's like, okay, I'm just doing what kind of, you know, I did a combination of Weight Watchers points and MyFitnessPal and stuff like that. But we had our own little challenge group, and we followed the plan, and we suited up and we showed up and we pushed play every day. And then I did Insanity, same thing, you know, and then, you know, I became a coach, and I was still on that journey. And I know after 5 years, you know, sometimes things just need to be made new again. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight with changing up our challenge groups. So let me share my screen. Changing up your challenge groups. So I wanted to start off with the basics, because we have a lot of new coaches on our team. And the one thing that I don't want anybody watching this to come away with is to be intimidated at the thought of running a challenge group. Because I'm going to share a lot of information on ways you can change up your challenge groups. And a lot of that requires creating content. But that's not as scary as it sounds. But I know when I used to run challenge groups way back in the day, I mean, every challenge group, I felt like I had to make it different. And I was constantly scouring Google and YouTube and all this, trying to find things to post. And, you know, some days you're just barely getting your own workout in, and you got to think of something to post. And it was just really, I mean, and then I was having 2 challenge groups a month. And I just remember at one point I was just so overwhelmed. And I felt like all I was doing with my business was my challenge groups. I mean, all I was doing was figuring out what to post and And then, you know, trying to follow up on it, and it was really stressing me out. So if anybody's ever been in that position, you can raise your hand, or you can just keep your hands down and think to yourself, yep, I've been there, done that. So the first thing I want to make sure everybody knows is that we do have challenge group guides, right? So I'm going to stop share. See, that was, no, actually I do want to keep share, because I want to show you where the challenge groups guide are in your challenge tracker if you've not seen them in the show. Let's see. What tab do I want to close down, right? I saw Connie Smith's tabs the other day, and I'm telling you, I was blown away. I'm like, dang, I don't have a problem compared to that. It was like tabs out the wazoo. But she says she knows what every one of them are for, and it helps keep her organized. Okay, so here's the Core de Force challenge group. Right here, challenge group guides. Core de Force, right here, challenge group guide. And you know what? I just had this really brilliant idea. So here's the thing about the challenge group guides. And the newer ones are, I think, even better than the earlier ones. So like, for instance, the 21-Day Fix Extreme Challenge Group Guide, I think, is more robust than the 21-Day Fix Challenge Group Guide, because, you know, our marketing team in Beachbody, they improve things, and they have videos from the trainers and things like that. I mean, like right here, you know, a welcome from Joel and Jericho. How cool is that? You know, it tells them how to, you know, log in to their Team Beachbody Club account. It gives them tips on, there's the trainer tip. It gives them tips on how to take their measurements. It gives information on Shakeology and Performance Line, more trainer tips, you know, on form and things like that. I mean, you don't have to be the expert, and that's what the challenge group guides are there for, so that nobody, you know, that's, again, one of the reasons why Beachbody has been so successful. It's because it's real people helping real people. And I know a lot of times we see the coaches, and we see, you know, Danielle Natoni and Janelle Summers, and they're fitness experts, they're fitness professionals, and we're like, oh my gosh, you know, how could I ever be as successful as them, because they're that. But it started out with Tracy Morrow. Tracy Morrow, not a fitness professional. She was just a girl, a woman, doing P90X on a Facebook, or on a, not a Facebook, on a chat board that Beachbody had in their whatever, just helping people do P90X because she herself had done P90X. And Tracy didn't have to be an expert on muscle and anatomy and food. She had the P90X guide. She had the workouts, she had the calendar, she had the meal plan, she had all of that. And this was before she was best friends with Tony Horton, right? So that's what the challenge group guides do for us now. They help us provide expert information to our customers. So the thing that I like about the challenge group guides is that it definitely gives some really great expert advice, expert tips. Now, the one thing the challenge group guides are missing is you. It's missing a little bit of personal touch. And so that's where we change up our challenge groups. Now, if you're a brand new coach and you're running your very first challenge group, don't hesitate to use these challenge group guides. Even I still use the challenge group guides, but I also insert my own flavor, That's where gangsters, right? Flavor. So, excuse me. So as I'm thinking about my own challenge groups, one of the things that I thought about was, why don't we look at the Shakeology challenge group guide, and let's pepper some of our challenge groups with more information about Shakeology, because the average customer who is on Shakeology, or not the average duration of Shakeology retention is 4 months. 4 months. And I know everybody on this call has been on Shake, 5 years. 365 days a year, the 365ers, well, they should have like a, you know, whatever that times 5 is. We have been drinking Shakeology for years. We can't even fathom why somebody would only drink it for 4 months. But we can fathom. The reason they're only drinking it for 4 months is because they don't see the value, because they don't know how it's different. Maybe they didn't attribute some of the good things they felt while drinking it to Shakeology. Maybe they didn't really think about the fact that, you know, that they were more energetic, or they were sleeping better, or they weren't craving chocolate, or their cholesterol dropped, and they weren't attributing these things to Shakeology. So they didn't, if they're not staying on Shakeology, perhaps we need to look at what information we're providing for them. So I was just thinking, as I want to start putting more Shakeology posts into my challenge groups, this is a great place to go, right? This is a great place, the Shakeology guide. I mean, we don't have to run a Shakeology only challenge group, but we can certainly use that content. And that's what's really nice about the challenge tracker. All of these guides are right in here. And all you have to do is just copy them out of the guide and you post it in your group, right? And then when you go to, I'm just showing a little bit of information here. There's also these video tutorials down here. So if anybody is thinking they don't know how to use the challenge group apps, the coach portal is what we're looking at right now. And this is the place where you as a coach will go in and look. I mean, basically what you can do on the coach portal that you can't do on the participant app, which is on your phone only, is you can't see all of your participants' information. So this is where a coach will come. I mean, it's easier to schedule. You can schedule your post here, right? So like all of those core to force posts are already scheduled. They're already scheduled to go out. So that work is done. I know at least one post a day for my challenge group is done. And then I want to come here to look at my participants, right? So I want to look and see what my participants are doing. I can't do that on the app. So whenever you are on the app on your phone, you are looking at it as a participant because, again, you are a participant in your challenge group, right? So that's a little bit about the challenge group or about the app. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So that's just some basic information. I've told about the challenge. Schedule your posts. I mean, I really recommend, especially like in the challenge tracker, schedule those posts out, get it done. And even in, I mean, there was some conversation about this at leadership. There was actually 2 coaches spoke, one back to back of the other. And one said she doesn't schedule her challenge, her post. She said, don't do it. It's not personal. And then the next coach came up and said, you know, I'm really sorry. I have to disagree with that. You know, I don't get up at 5 a.m. and work out, but a lot of my challengers do. And I want them to see a 5 a.m. post. So different schools of thought on that, right? So I don't think there's a right or a wrong reason. What the right answer is, you have to be present. So there's nothing wrong with scheduling posts, but you still have to be present. You can't just schedule and walk away and then 30 days come back and say, oh, you know, who wants to do another challenge with me? Right? I mean, because, you know, if you're not in that group every single day, then it could kind of tend to work out like that. So set a time every day to review and comment. I think a best practice is to make sure that there's a wake up post every morning and then there's end of the day comments. I think some of us, we can get really attached to our phones. And when we can see our challenge groups on our phones, we can tend to be maybe in our challenge groups all day long. That's really not good for your personal health, your personal sanity. I don't want you to be in your Beachbody business all day long. So I'm going to recommend that you discipline yourself to go into your challenge groups at scheduled times. If you want to do it more than once a day, then do it, at a certain time every day. If you want to go in the morning and in the evening, if you want to do it at lunchtime and evening, whatever works for your schedule. But I challenge you to discipline yourself. And I say discipline because discipline is doing what's hard, even when you want to do something easier. And it's easy to just sit here and and then you were telling me, Deborah, I just feel like I'm working my business all day long and I'm so overwhelmed. Well, don't do that. So these are some best practices. All right, now we're going to liven things up. So you've got the basic foundation of a challenge group in your challenge group guides. And these are just, again, some things that there was a conversation in the wall about, and it was from let's see, who was it from? Started by a top coach that, is very successful. And she said, you know, I'm really having trouble like getting people engaged in my challenge tracker. You know, it's like once they're in there, I'm just like, you know, not, how are we following up with them and all that stuff? And you would be surprised if I told you who posted this. Very successful, rock and roll. Like, you would think that she would totally know everything there is to know about challenge groups. But she had the same issue that we all have. It's like, how do we make these challenge trackers more engaging? And you can take all of this and use it on Facebook too. But somebody commented and gave us her entire formula and said, and here's the theory, or not the theory, here is the consensus on the challenge tracker, is that it doesn't seem like participants engage as much with each other, which I think is something that we can think about. How can we get them to do more of that? But if you have the right posts, they will engage more with you because now they're not distracted. I mean, think about it. You know, you can teach your challengers how to look at coach posts. Do you know about coach posts? In your in their app on the phone, when they go into their app, they can select to view only coach posts. So they can see just what you did, or the coaches, if there's multiple coaches in your group. They can see only the coach posts. And that would be something that I think that I would want to tell my challengers is, the first thing I want you to do is look at the coach posts and respond to the coach post. I mean, you can pin the post, right? And unlike on Facebook where it kind of hides the pin post, it doesn't hide the pin post. It's right there. So you could actually pin your post every morning if you wanted. But so they're saying that customers are more engaged with the actual coach because it's easier to find their stuff. It's easier to see their stuff, right? So here's some things that ways to liven things up. You know, have a plan for your day. So schedule your challenge, you know, guides, because I think that's important. I mean, doing a program like Core to Force, and I'm just kind of telling you what I've learned, is the challenge or the coach test group participants that worked with corporate, they said that they were constantly being critiqued on their form with Core to Force, and that they definitely recommend that you have your challengers do the learn it before they do it, because the form is really everything. I mean, if you're not, you know, crunching and, you know, it's a core focused workout. If you're not doing your form correctly, you're not going to see the sculpt that you want to see, right? So that's why those guides are helpful, because they will be putting that expert information in front of your challengers every day. But how do you liven things up? Well, I advocate a morning mojo post every morning. And this is a really great idea, an affirmation post. And get your challengers used to repeating that affirmation. When they see that post, I am capable of way more than I ever thought. Repeat after me. I am, you know, find a cute graphic, you know, Google it. You can find everything on Google. And if you don't find the exact one, then just get on, you know, your phone, edit your picture app and just create one that just says the words that you want it to say. But I want to see in my challenge groups a lot more focus on mental mojo. So give your challengers some morning mojo affirmation where I am, I can, I do. And then engagement, ask a question and answer the question. So maybe you ask, you know, maybe just for grunge, you say, you know, this is something, and I've not done this post, but I shall do it. You know, what is your favorite quote from your workout? And then you say what yours is. So, you know, like when I'm doing 21 Day Fix Extreme, and at one of the DVDs where Autumn at the end says, you know, no, you have 1 minute left. You can't stop 30 seconds in. You have one more, you know, whatever it is she says. I mean, every time she says that, I like perk up and I'm like, oh, she's right. She's right, darn it. I can't stop at 1 minute. I have to finish this. You know, so ask your challengers something like that. You know, it can be a simple thing like, what's your favorite Shakeology? You know, what's your favorite fruit you put in your Shakeology? I love putting pineapple and mango. That's my all-time favorite, and I eat it almost every day that way. So engagement. So this is your opportunity to get them to engage with you. An afternoon fitness funny, like a fitness meme or a video. I mean, I just put one in my challenge group, and it's just this video I saw show up on my newsfeed. And it's just a funny thing. I mean, and it doesn't always have to be about fitness either, right? I mean, we want our challenge groups to be something where people connect to on a life basis. So don't think you only have to do fitness in your groups. Now, Shakeology factoid in the evening. This is really funny. One of the girls said, yeah, every evening I post a Shakeology factoid about an ingredient in Shakeology. And you can find it on the Shakeology page. You can find that all over the place in that Shakeology challenge group guide maybe. But she said, I have challengers that are really super picky about what they eat. And some of them get like really skeeved out when I tell them what they're eating in their Shakeology. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was eating that. So she said, it's kind of funny, you can make it funny. You can just make it be factual. But again, letting people know why Shakeology is great. That is something we have to do more in our challenge groups. So theme of the day. I mean, if you got into a structure, maybe you don't want to do 4 posts a day. Maybe you just want to do 2. Maybe you want to do 3. You can make this be whatever you want it to be. But this is just a suggestion. If your challengers know what to expect, if they know that every morning I'm going to have that morning mojo, I'm going to log in. Oh, every time, keep doing that. Every time before I work out, I'm going to log into the challenge group and I'm going to see my morning affirmation. That's pretty impressive. That would be such an amazing thing if they got into the habit of doing that. Asking them the question, getting them to engage. Anytime you can ask a question on your post, even on your main Facebook page, is always a good way to seek engagement, right? And then funny, everybody likes to laugh, right? And then factoids. Oops, I'm in edit mode here. So now let's get more engagement from your challengers. This is their turn. What are you expecting from them? You're expecting them to log their daily workout. Now, I don't know, whenever I've done challenge groups and Facebook, I get so few people that actually will post a picture of their workout or their Shakeology or their food. I mean, some groups do really great and some they just don't. In the challenge tracker app, it's huge. People just do that every single day because they want to see the little check mark. That's what people love about it. They love the check marks. We love to check things off our to-do lists. And with the health bet, that's where I really saw it. When people had to post their picture of their Shakeology and a picture of themselves working out, they did. And I have people that have carried over into my holiday fitness trifecta that are still doing that. I mean, right now, in my first month of my holiday fitness trifecta, I have like 30 people that are still actively engaged with that group. And my friends, that is like a record. So, there may not be a lot of interaction. There may not be a lot of, gossip going on in there, but I can tell you the challengers are participating. They're getting their workout done and they're drinking their Shakeology. And that's what we want them to do. Before and afters. Challengers have got to do this. We've got to do a much better job of getting this done. And I'm going to start implementing at the end of all my challenge groups. I'm going to ask people, I'm going to specifically tell them how to log their challenge with the challenge, Beachbody challenge, how to submit for their picture. And I'm going to ask them to post a snapshot, a screenshot of when they have done that. Because my friends, we should be having, we have coaches on our team right now that have had such amazing physical transformations. Are they entering in the Beachbody challenge every single month? We should have people up there winning $500, $1,000 for their transformations. So we as coaches need to do a much better job of getting people engaged with that. And just FYI, once you submit your results, you can submit them every single month until you win. And when you have new results, you just update your pictures, you update your story, but you submit every single month. Maybe there's one time you submit where you want to go all the way back to the beginning of time and say, this is what I looked like when I started 4 years ago, and I just finished Core to Force, and this is what I look like, and here's all the things I did in between. You can do that. So you enter after every time you finish the workout program, and then you enter every month. Weights and measures, they've got to enter that information and your challenge tracker allows them to do that. And you can see if they've done it. And that's what I like about it. You can see if they've done it. And if they haven't done it, I send them a message and say, hey, thanks for entering your picture. Can you go ahead and enter your weights and measures? Or, hey, thanks for entering your weights and measures. Can you go ahead and enter your picture? So boom, period, the end. This is important stuff. You know, our challengers don't want to do this. It's painful. It's painful for all of us. Even if we've been working out for 5 years, we still don't like to take those pictures. But we have to be the example. And I suggest you take yours and post yours so everyone can see them. I did mine. Who's next? And the thing about the challenge tracker that I don't like is when you post those pictures, like when your challengers put progress pictures in, it just goes into their activity feed. So what I had my challengers do at the end of our first 30 days with Holiday Fitness Trifecta, as I said, send me either in the comments of this post or to my email, post your before and after picture so that I don't have to go find it in their activity feed. I've submitted that as an awkward moment to the beta programmer. So anyway, so that's just FYI. So now we're going to keep it spicy. So we've gotten kind of a daily rhythm going. We've got our challengers engaged. They know what they need to be doing. And your job is to get them in the discipline, which becomes a habit, right? And you got to keep them connected to their motivation, right? Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings wane and they ebb and flow. So you keep them connected to their motivation by getting them into good disciplines, which become habits, by keeping things spicy, right? So days of the week themes, here's some ideas. Like I said, Monday Mojo, have them post a Mojo graphic. I mean, when I do that in my Facebook groups, I have a really great interaction with that. Every challenger, they can go out and find a great motivational graphic that really speaks to them. NSV Tuesday, Non-Scale Victory Tuesday, or Transformation Tuesday. I mean, that might be a day where you ask them to tell us something that, you've achieved since we started that doesn't have anything to do with numbers on the scales. How do you feel? Do you have more energy? Are you sleeping better? Are you getting compliments? Do you just feel more positive when you wake up in the morning? Do you look forward to your workouts, whereas before you never did? Just things like that. Bonus Workout Wednesday. This is kind of, Wacky Wednesday, Workout Wednesday, but giving them kind of some little mini challenges, right, to help keep them engaged. I've done things like this and put them in teams before. If it's a huge group, that may be too much work, but, you can have them do plank challenges, wall sit challenges, push-ups, post a picture of their workout buddy, and it could be their dog, it could be their kids. I love it they love it when you ask them to post pictures with their workout buddies. Work out in strange places. So get them to go outside. Jen was doing like core de force out in her yard this morning, and she posted it on her new profile picture. Get them to kind of get out of their zone and do something different. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be, a traditional fitness thing. Maybe it's like go do a yoga pose in, a public place and take a picture. I don't know. Just make it fun. Thirsty Thursday is a great way to provide Shakeology recipes, to pump up the drinkage of water, give them some infused water recipes, things like that. And then I like this idea of surprise challenges. Oops, did I miss something? Seems like I missed something. Nope, I didn't. Surprise challenges. So, if you have your daily schedule, so like they know motivation in the morning, I'm going to have a question in the afternoon, I'm going to have a Shakeology factoid at night. And then they know that, kind of every day of the week has its own little flavor. Surprise them. Give them surprises. I think this is a really fun idea. Tag your it. So, give them post like, I'm getting ready to do my workout in 5 minutes. And tag your it, I tag Jen Arias, you're it. When did you do your workout? Or something like that. Or, tag your it, Jen, here's a picture of my food, tag your it, Jen, post a picture of your food. And then Jen, tag your it to Sherry. And then tag your it to Casey. It kind of gets the challengers to interact with each other, right? They have to go down the line and nobody can be a repeat. So that's I think a really fun thing. Where in the world is? I thought this was a really cute idea. If you have challengers that are kind of like they've gone MIA for a short period of time or for a week or so, you could post this like fun little meme, like, you know, where in the world is Sherry? We miss you so much. And if anybody has seen her, she was last seen wearing her Quarter Force brawler shirt and she had a dog on her head. If anybody's seen Sherry, please let us know right away. You know, it kind of makes it funny. You tag Sherry and maybe she sees that. Maybe she's been feeling down. Maybe she's, you know, kind of disengaged. But then she sees that her peeps are looking for her and she comes back and says, here I am. I just had such a hard week and been feeling so down on myself. I mean, wouldn't that be so fun? Create your own meme theme. You could have, you know, a meme for anything. You know, and you know, some challengers aren't as technologically savvy as Beachbody coaches who spend our lives on our phones, but teach them. Like when I ask people to post their side-by-side pictures, you know, tell them how to do that. Say, you know, do that. Here's an app you can do on your phone. Just go to a collage app, boom. Same with memes, you know, they can search their own meme or even take their own workout picture and do a caption this. That would be fun. You know, have them do a caption this. That could be a part of a tag your it. A tag your it just might be a really, you could do that with a tons of different things, right? And then there's all kinds of things like 1 minute challenges. Again, I mean, you could go back to do, you know, it could be anything from 1 minute planks or, you know, how many push-ups can you do in 1 minute? Or maybe it's, you know, maybe you do it for engagement and say, you know, here's a 1 minute challenge. You know, how many people are seeing this post right now? You know, whatever. I mean, you could just do a lot of different things. Pop-ins. Some of these things would work great in the evening, but not in the middle of the day, right? Because people are at work. Most of your customers are parents. But again, just get creative. And you know what? I really encourage all of us to share our ideas in our team page. Because you know what? We don't have to be territorial or proprietary about these ideas because every idea is probably somebody else's anyway. So, and if you have an original idea, then be proud of it and share it and help other people make their challenge groups amazing. Up the ante now, weekend warrior challenges. So weekends are hard, right? People kind of go away. I mean, some people, you know, they're spending the weekend with their kids and at soccer matches and that's the time when people get really distracted by friends and food and drink and busyness and sleeping in and they're not on their schedule anymore. So consider doing like a weekend warrior challenge so that your challengers know every Friday I'm going to post a weekend warrior challenge to take with us into the weekend. And again, it can be a fitness challenge or maybe it's not. You know, a photo challenge. You know, I thought about, you know, maybe you give them, you know, just like 3 or 4 things that they, you know, like maybe it could be as simple as Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's, you know, post a picture of this and tell what it means to you. Kind of like the gratitude challenge. A scavenger hunt, I think, would be really, really fun for a weekend challenge where you give them a list of things to find or things to take their picture with this weekend, right? And they post it. They could post it on Instagram and they could tag, you know, the hashtag, or they just post it in the group. I just think that would be really fun. And maybe, you know, if you don't have a huge group, you could put them in pairs, you could put them in teams, or maybe you ask them to team up with each other. I just think it would be really fun. A water bomb challenge is always a good thing to do. You know, everybody should be drinking half their body weight in ounces of water every day, but not everybody does. So give them a water bomb challenge and have them, you know, post pictures. You know, show their picture of their water. How many of these are you going to drink, you know, every day? Okay, this is my water. This is how I drink my water. So I know I need to drink 4 of these a day. So they post a picture every time they drink 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Love notes to themselves. Have them, give them a homework assignment to write themselves a love note. And they don't, if they want to share it, I mean, ask them to share it. Or even better, have them write a note of encouragement to another challenger on the team. Gratitude, again, that's another challenge you could do, gratitude challenges. Or it could just be like walking, steps, squats challenges. If you have a bunch of people that have Fitbits, you could do a steps challenge. You could do a walking challenge. You know, hey, we've been doing all this stuff, but walking, you know, let's get out. Maybe it's a get out in the outdoors challenge. Let's take our workout outdoors. Let's do something outdoors, you know, stuff like that. Squats. I think a really fun challenge I did one time was every time you go to the bathroom, you have to do 10 squats. And then they had to take a picture of themselves. with their pants up, right? So just make it fun. I mean, not everybody's going to dig this kind of stuff, but some people will. Keep them coming back. So now you've had these great challenge groups. People have been engaged. You've got their before and after pictures. They're having results. How do you keep them coming back? Because we want our challengers for more than 21 days, right? We want them for life. We're here to change lives, right? So create a graduation group on Facebook. In your challenge tracker, you can only have a maximum of 250 people in a challenge. So, you know, that's not the place to create your huge ongoing accountability group. So for that, you're going to need to go back to Facebook. You know, there may be some other options, but that's what I would recommend. And again, have it be a graduation group. And when people graduate from the challenge, make a big deal when you put them into the Facebook group. You know, welcome our, you know, new graduates from Core de Force. Welcome to our new graduates from the Holiday Fitness Trifecta. You know, tag them in that post. You know, ask everyone to welcome them. You know, daily accountability like they're used to. The expectation in the graduation group should be that they continue posting their workout pics, their Shakeology pics, their food pics, right? You've given them the discipline in your challenge. Now let's hope they have that as a habit and that they keep doing that. You know, and keep it simple. I say keep it simple, sweetie, because, you know, you can get, I don't know about you, I can get really overwhelmed thinking about doing a graduation group, an ongoing accountability group. It's like, what do I post? I have to, you know, keep it simple. You know, just going back to the basics, you know, again, pop in there with special things like, you know, maybe you do a points challenge, you know, once a quarter or something where, okay, if, you know, just like we've done in challenge groups where here's how you can win points and, you know, the highest point gets, you know, a Fit Fab Fun box, or, you know, everyone that does these things gets entered into a raffle for a Fixate cookbook, you know, different things like that to kind of keep them engaged. Use the app for special groups. So this is a way, you know, you've got your graduation group, but hopefully now that these are lifers, when Core de Force comes out, they finished Country Heat, now they want to do Core de Force. Now you put them back into the app. And did you know that when you invite people in the app, you can now look at your previous groups and you don't have to send them a new email, you just click and it invites them to your new group. Check it out. They're constantly improving that thing. Put them back in your group, have them go through the disciplines and develop those habits and have some fun and do the fun things that you do in your challenges. And then when they graduate, they go back into, or they're already in the accountability group. And you can still welcome and say, hey, we just had all these people graduate from Core de Force. Now you're creating excitement in your group, right? So to bring it home, number one, you must be your own best challenger. You need to commit to that. The more vulnerable you are, the more vulnerable they will be. If you want people to open up to you and tell you when they're having a bad day and tell you when they need help, and tell you when, instead of just disappear into the twilight, to tell you, I really feel like I'm struggling and I don't know what to do. Then you have to tell them the same thing. I have a pizza in the fridge and that is not on the Core de Force eating plan. I need someone right now to tell me don't go eat the pizza. And you know, hopefully somebody's listening and will say, Deborah, don't eat the pizza. Okay, all right, crisis averted. I mean, if you do something like that, then your challengers will do something like that. Make your customer a lifer. Here's some ideas. Get on the phone with them. Get to know them. It's kind of like a getting started right call. Do a 2-week follow-up, same thing. Ask to get on the phone with them. I'm not, you know me and phones, but you know what? There's not that many challengers that we can't take the time to do this. Leave them a weekly message or voice message when they don't check in. So when you're looking at the challenge tracker and you see the last date that this person checked in was 5 days ago, then you best be getting in touch with that person, right? And letting them know. Do your little meme. Oh, Susie, where are you, Susie? Last seen, and you could even post the last picture she posted. Last seen wearing da-da-da-da. And then send her a message, a voice message, a message through the challenge tracker, however. If you've talked to her on the phone, you should have her phone number so you could text her. People respond much quicker to text than anything else. Get them into your ongoing group and always keep the door open. If you contact Susie and you say, Susie, I really missed you. She's like, I know, I've just had this thing go on and blah, 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 and I just need, I need to deal with this right now. Leave the door open. Susie, I totally understand, and I just want you to know, you know, I'm here for you. The group is here for you. Whenever you want to come back, whenever you feel ready, we are here for you. The door is always open, so that they don't feel like they let you down or they're not embarrassed. Let them know we're here for you. So those are my tips. Hopefully that brought a little, got your juices flowing on some ideas. I know I love new ideas. So like I said, don't keep all your ideas to yourself. Let's see, what did we have over here? Somebody wants to be added to the Thug Life group, or did I just miss some posts in between that? Cubs just scored. Like, really? The Royals aren't playing, so I don't. I'm not even watching. Another one for the Cubbies. What is this? Are you guys paying attention to my video, or are you just watching the game? What group are you wanting to be added to, Paulette? I don't know. Another. Nellie? Nellie? Where are you? You're watching the game. You're not even there. You're just a little thingy. She's like, she just disappeared. Oh, there you are. Stop watching the game. I'm going to make you summarize back to me everything I said. CDF Challenge Tracker. I did. I added you today, I believe. I'm sure I did. If your email was in the group. But anyway, so if you're not added to the CDF Challenge Tracker, comment in our post so that we can get you added. Are there any questions, comments? You guys can unmute yourself. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you guys for joining us. Those of you that are watching, awesome. I hope you got some great tips. I'm going to print the screen. Everybody smile. Yay! Those of you that are in hiding, would you like to unmute your video and join us for a group picture? Anybody?